Life today is like a never-ending storm, pulling us in all directions, making focus feel like an impossible luxury. We're caught in a whirlwind of notifications, distractions, and fleeting pleasures, constantly pulled away from what truly matters, ourselves. But here's the truth. If you don't put yourself first, no one else will. If you don't take control of your thoughts, emotions, and actions, the world will do it for you. You'll become a puppet, moved by external forces, never truly living life on your own terms. Success is rarely seen in its rawest form. No one watches the pianist spending endless nights in solitude, fingers aching from practice, wrestling with self-doubt, replaying a single note until it sounds just right. But when the curtains rise and the world listens in silent admiration, they only see the masterpiece, not the struggle behind it. That's the nature of achievement. It's built in the unseen hours, in the quiet discipline that no one applauds. As the philosopher Epictetus once said, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid with regard to external things. True success isn't for those who seek recognition, but for those willing to work relentlessly in silence. But how do you silence the distractions, build unshakable discipline, and create a life that is truly yours? It starts with understanding one of the greatest enemies of modern success: distraction. Everywhere you turn, there's something fighting for your attention. The endless scroll of social media, the breaking news that never stops, the flood of emails, messages, and notifications. It's all designed to pull you away from what matters. How many times have you told yourself, just 5 minutes, only to look up and realize an hour has vanished? How often have you sat down to work, only to be lured into a debate online, a viral video, or a meaningless conversation? Distractions don't just waste time. They drain your energy, scatter your focus, and rob you of the motivation to pursue your goals. We live in an era where attention is a currency, and yet we give it away so easily. Many people believe failure comes from a lack of ability or bad luck, but more often than not, it's simply the slow erosion of focus, bit by bit, moment by moment, until nothing meaningful is left. Take the story of Andy. He dreams of success, but every day he falls into the same trap. He wakes up with the intention of learning a new skill, but a quick glance at his phone pulls him into an endless stream of news. He sits down to work, but a notification interrupts his flow, pulling him into a pointless discussion. Day after day he feels busy, but when he looks back he realizes he hasn't actually moved forward. He's not alone. This is the silent struggle of millions, lost in the noise, mistaking activity for progress. Epictetus once said, "If someone were to give your body away to a stranger, you'd be furious. Yet you hand over your mind to anyone who comes along, allowing it to be disturbed and manipulated. Have you no shame in that?" We guard our physical possessions fiercely, yet we leave our minds open to be hijacked by whatever captures our attention. Every time you get caught in an online argument, every time you let negative news dictate your mood, every time you waste time consuming meaningless content, you are surrendering control over your own mind. Stoicism doesn't teach us to cut ourselves off from the world, but it does emphasize the importance of filtering what we allow into our mental space. If you let everything in, every fear-driven headline, every pointless distraction, you will be swept away, living a life that isn't truly your own. But why do distractions have such a powerful grip on us? It's simple: instant gratification. Social media, video games, entertainment, all of it is designed to trigger dopamine, the chemical that gives us short-term pleasure. A funny video, a like on a post, a quick reward. It feels good in the moment. But afterward, there's an emptiness, a realization that another day has passed without real progress. The key to breaking free isn't just about eliminating distractions, it's about replacing them with something more meaningful. The first step is awareness. Pay attention to what steals your focus. Is it your phone, endless browsing, unnecessary conversations? Once you identify the source, you can take steps to manage it. The second step is setting boundaries. If social media drains your time, set limits. If notifications keep pulling you back, turn them off when working. Don't allow the outside world to dictate how you spend your most valuable resource, your attention. And the most important step, find something worth focusing on. Distractions only win when there's nothing greater pulling you forward. When you have a clear goal, a vision so strong that it ignites your passion, distractions start to lose their appeal. But let's take it deeper, because eliminating distractions is only the first step. Taking full control of your life means stepping up and actively shaping your destiny. Some people seem lost, constantly chasing external validation, while others move with unwavering purpose. What's the difference? The answer lies in control. Epictetus once said, "He is free who lives as he wishes to live, who is neither subject to compulsion, nor to hindrance, nor to force." Freedom isn't about doing whatever feels good in the moment. It's about having the self-discipline to do what is necessary. Those who let their emotions and impulses dictate their actions will always remain prisoners of their own weaknesses. Think about it. You may dream of a better life, but if you keep repeating the same habits, you'll get the same results. If you want to be healthy but can't control your diet, that goal remains an illusion. If you seek success but don't manage your time, procrastination will always keep you stuck. Real transformation begins when you take full responsibility, not just for what happens to you, but for how you respond, think and act in every moment. And that means making hard choices. Let's say you decide to learn a new skill to advance in your career. At first, you're motivated, you plan your schedule, but then distractions start creeping in. Phone calls, messages, social media. You tell yourself, "I'll start tomorrow." But tomorrow turns into the next day, then the next, until that dream becomes nothing more than regret. Now imagine the opposite. You decide to take full control. You put your phone away. You ignore distractions. You dedicate time every single day to your craft. Not only will you make progress, but you'll develop something even more powerful, inner strength. Because discipline isn't just about achieving a goal, it's about becoming the kind of person who can achieve anything. The world isn't designed to make success easy. It's filled with distractions, temptations, and obstacles that will test your resolve. But Marcus Aurelius, another great Stoic philosopher, once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. You can't control the world, but you can control how you respond to it." A disciplined person doesn't get caught up in meaningless debates or waste time on negativity. They don't let circumstances dictate their direction. They write their own story. Take a moment to reflect. How many times have you let distractions steal your time? How often have you postponed your goals for temporary pleasure? How many times have you allowed external events to dictate your emotions? The truth is, no one has control over your life unless you hand it to them. You may not be able to change everything around you, but you can always change how you think and act. And the first step? Eliminating the habits that hold you back. Success doesn't happen overnight. It's not the result of luck or sudden inspiration. It's the accumulation of small, consistent actions repeated over time. The problem is, most people know what they want, but they lack the discipline to stay committed. They let distractions, emotions, and external influences dictate their path, making excuses instead of taking control. Think about it. How often do people set goals, only to abandon them the moment things get hard? They want to get fit, but the temptation of junk food wins. They want to start a business, but fear of failure holds them back. They dream of a better life, but they're unwilling to sacrifice their comfort to achieve it. This is why most people never reach their full potential. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Freedom isn't about doing whatever you feel like. It's about having the strength to do what's necessary, even when it's difficult. Without discipline, you are a prisoner to your own impulses. Without self-control, you are at the mercy of distractions, temptations, and fleeting desires. Every great achievement requires discipline and sacrifice. You cannot become strong without enduring discomfort. You cannot become successful without giving up things that waste your time. You cannot create an extraordinary life while living like an ordinary person. Look at anyone who has mastered their craft. The greatest athletes, artists, entrepreneurs, they all share one thing, an unbreakable commitment to their vision. They don't rely on motivation because motivation is fleeting. Instead, they rely on discipline. They show up every single day, whether they feel like it or not. Take Michael Phelps, for example, the most decorated Olympian in history. What made him great wasn't talent alone, but relentless discipline. For years, he trained 365 days a year. No breaks, no excuses. While others were resting, he was swimming. While others were making excuses, he was improving. That level of commitment is what separates the extraordinary from the average. Success always comes at a price. The question is, are you willing to pay it? If you want to build a strong body, you must sacrifice comfort. If you want financial freedom, you must sacrifice reckless spending. If you want mastery in any field, you must sacrifice time spent on meaningless distractions. The greatest people in history weren't lucky. They were simply willing to sacrifice more than the average person. This is a principle that the Stoics lived by. Act in silence. You don't need to announce your goals. You don't need validation from others. Just stay disciplined, stay committed, and let your results speak for themselves. Weak people seek approval. Strong people stay focused on their mission. The real question is, are you willing to do what it takes? Because here's the truth. If you lack discipline, you will never control your own destiny. Your life will be dictated by impulses, emotions, and external circumstances. You'll keep making plans, but never following through. You'll keep making excuses, waiting for the perfect time that never comes. If you want to take control of your life, you must start by mastering yourself. And that begins with eliminating ineffective habits. The habits that steal your time, drain your energy, and keep you stuck. Start by identifying the biggest distractions in your life. Is it endless scrolling through social media, meaningless conversations, wasting time on things that add no value? Whatever it is, cut it out. Next, set clear goals and commit to them. Don't just say, "I want to do this." Write it down, make a plan, and most importantly, follow through, no matter what. Then, learn the power of saying no. No to distractions. No to things that don't serve your purpose. No to anything that takes you off course. Finally, focus only on what you can control. You can't control external events, but you can control your actions. You can't control how others see you, but you can control your effort. The more you focus on your own progress, the less you'll care about external opinions. Most people will never do this. They will keep making excuses, allowing distractions to dictate their lives. But those who take control, who have the discipline to stay focused, become unstoppable. So ask yourself, are you truly in control of your life? Or are you still letting the world control you? Those who succeed in life don't have more time than you. They don't have fewer challenges. They simply have the discipline to control themselves, to stay focused, to push forward even when it's hard. Because here's the reality. True freedom doesn't come from avoiding responsibility. It comes from mastering it. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." You can't control the world, but you can control your actions. You can't change every circumstance, but you can change how you respond. So, take a moment and reflect. How many times have you let distractions steal your time? How often have you allowed emotions to dictate your decisions? How much of your life is truly in your hands? It's time to stop making excuses. It's time to stop waiting for the perfect moment. The perfect moment doesn't exist. The only thing that matters is what you do right now. The world is filled with noise, temptations, and distractions that will try to pull you away from your path. But those who stay disciplined, who work hard in silence, are the ones who rise above the rest. And that brings us to one of the most important truths of success: consistency. Because motivation will fade, inspiration will come and go, but those who stick to their routines, who show up every single day, are the ones who succeed. Let's look at an example. Haruki Murakami, one of the world's most respected novelists. When he decided to dedicate his life to writing, he didn't just wait for inspiration. He built a disciplined schedule. Every day he woke up at 4 a.m., wrote for 4 to 6 hours, exercised in the afternoon, and read at night. He followed this routine for years. It wasn't about talent, it wasn't about luck, it was about consistency. Most people fail because they don't stick with anything long enough to see results. They try for a few weeks, then give up. They expect success to come quickly, and when it doesn't, they move on to something else. But mastery doesn't happen overnight. It happens in the repetition, in the daily grind, in the willingness to keep going even when progress seems invisible. This is where most people give up. They don't see instant results, so they assume it's not working. But success isn't measured in days or weeks. It's measured in years. So here's the question. Are you willing to be consistent? Are you willing to wake up and do the work every day, even when you don't feel like it? Are you willing to push through boredom, through frustration, through the moments when quitting seems easier? Because that's the difference between those who succeed and those who don't. The ones who stay consistent, who commit to the process, who keep showing up, are the ones who win in the end. And that's the ultimate truth. Success is not about what you do once. It's about what you do every single day. Those who control their time, their habits, their discipline, control their destiny. So take control, master yourself, stay consistent, because the world belongs to those who refuse to quit. Success is never an accident. It's the result of a well-structured life, built on habits that strengthen your focus and sharpen your discipline. Yet, most people let time slip through their fingers, consumed by distractions, reacting to life instead of shaping it. They believe they have control, but in reality, they are merely drifting, chained by routines that bring them nowhere. There's a harsh truth that few are willing to accept. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. No matter how ambitious you are, if you don't have a clear schedule, a structured routine, and the discipline to stick to it, your goals will always remain out of reach. Look at the most successful people in any field. They don't waste time. They don't allow distractions to dictate their day. They don't wake up without a plan. Instead, they treat time like the valuable resource it is, allocating it with precision, ensuring that every moment serves a purpose. This is the difference between those who achieve extraordinary things and those who spend their lives wondering why they never got anywhere. Marcus Aurelius once said, "If you don't have a consistent goal in life, you can't live it in a consistent way." Without a clear direction, life will pull you in 100 different ways, scattering your energy and leaving you exhausted but unfulfilled. Imagine a ship with no destination. It will drift endlessly, carried by the waves, never reaching any meaningful place. That's what happens to people who don't structure their time. They are constantly busy but never truly progressing. So ask yourself, do you control your time, or does time control you? The answer lies in one simple principle: scheduling and focus. If you want to take control of your life, you must first take control of your time. Every hour that slips away without purpose is an opportunity wasted. Look at someone like Haruki Murakami, one of the world's most celebrated novelists. He didn't rely on bursts of inspiration to write his books. Instead, he built a disciplined routine, waking up at 4 a.m., writing for hours, exercising in the afternoon, reading in the evening. He repeated this every single day for years. Success wasn't a matter of talent or luck. It was a result of showing up, sticking to a schedule, and removing all distractions. You don't need to adopt the same extreme routine, but you do need a structure that supports your goals. If you want to build a business, dedicate focused time every day to working on it. No interruptions, no mindless scrolling, just deep, focused effort. If you want to master a skill, set aside specific hours for deliberate practice. Not just casual learning, but intense, structured improvement. If you want to transform your health, commit to a schedule that prioritizes fitness and nutrition. No excuses, no deviations, just consistent action. The key is not just having a plan, but protecting that plan. Because in today's world, distractions will constantly try to steal your attention. Social media, notifications, unnecessary conversations, all of them are designed to keep you unfocused. The solution? Treat your time like it's sacred. If you schedule 2 hours to work on a project, treat it as an unbreakable rule. Turn off your phone, block distractions, and focus with full intensity. If you allow small interruptions, even for a few minutes, your mind loses momentum. Productivity isn't about working longer, it's about working smarter with complete focus. And here's something most people don't realize. The most disciplined people are actually the freest. At first, it may seem like discipline is restrictive, forcing yourself into rigid routines, giving up instant pleasures. But in reality, discipline creates freedom. When you control your schedule, you no longer live with the stress of wasted time. You don't feel guilty about procrastination. You don't scramble at the last minute to get things done. You move through life with clarity, purpose, and control. Now, let's talk about one of the biggest productivity killers: emotional reactions. Most people don't fail because they lack intelligence or ambition. They fail because they let their emotions dictate their actions. Think about it. How many times have you skipped a workout because you didn't feel like it? How often have you delayed working on an important project because you weren't in the mood? How many times have you let frustration, boredom, or self-doubt keep you from making progress? They don't wait for motivation. They don't wait for the perfect conditions. They take action regardless of their mood, because they understand that consistency beats inspiration every time. This is the mindset you need to develop: to act in silence, without hesitation, without needing external validation. The moment you stop being controlled by emotions and distractions, you take full control of your life. Marcus Aurelius, one of history's greatest Stoic thinkers, once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. You can't control everything that happens around you, but you can control how you respond. You can control your focus, your schedule, your actions, and that's what separates those who succeed from those who merely wish for success." Now, let's address something crucial. Why do most people struggle to stay disciplined? because deep down they focus too much on the end result and not enough on the process. Everyone wants success, but few are willing to embrace the slow, often tedious process of getting there. They want quick results, instant rewards, but success doesn't work that way. If you look at the most accomplished people, you'll notice one thing: they love the process. They don't just chase the outcome, they embrace the daily work, the challenges, the grind. A musician doesn't just dream of playing on stage, they fall in love with the hours spent practicing alone. A writer doesn't just fantasize about publishing a book, they enjoy the quiet discipline of writing every day. An athlete doesn't just crave victory, they thrive on pushing their body to the limit in training. This is the secret. If you only care about results, you will get frustrated when progress is slow. But if you fall in love with the process, success becomes inevitable. The greatest growth happens when no one is watching, when you're working in silence, unseen, unappreciated. That's when you build true strength. Most people won't last. They will quit when things get hard. They will give up because they don't see immediate results. But those who keep going, who embrace the process, who show up even when it's difficult, those are the ones who achieve greatness. So ask yourself, are you chasing the outcome, or are you willing to embrace the journey? Because the truth is, success is not a single moment of achievement. It's the sum of every small decision you make, every habit you build, every hour you invest in your craft. The world doesn't reward those who wait. It rewards those who take action, so take control of your time. Build discipline. Stay focused, because the ones who work in silence today will be the ones the world admires tomorrow. In a world obsessed with instant gratification, patience has become a forgotten virtue. People want results now. They want success without the struggle, rewards without the effort, and recognition without the work. But the truth is, nothing great is ever built overnight. Every lasting achievement is the result of a long, disciplined process, one that most people aren't willing to endure. The difference between those who succeed and those who fail isn't intelligence, talent, or luck. It's persistence, the ability to stay focused, to keep working even when results are invisible, to push forward even when motivation fades. Look at any great achievement throughout history. Behind every success story is a person who refused to quit, who showed up every day, even when no one noticed, who worked in silence without seeking approval or applause. This is where most people fail. They expect quick progress, and when they don't see it, they lose faith. They abandon their goals, convincing themselves it wasn't meant to be. But those who understand the process, the ones who embrace the slow, steady climb, are the ones who reach the top. Take an athlete training for the Olympics. They don't wake up one day and suddenly become the best. They train relentlessly for years, pushing their bodies to the limit, often without seeing immediate results. But they trust the process. They understand that every drop of sweat, every extra rep, every disciplined meal is bringing them closer to their goal. The same principle applies to every area of life. A writer who dedicates time every day to their craft will eventually master it. An entrepreneur who keeps refining their business, learning from failures, will eventually succeed. A musician who practices relentlessly will one day perform on the world's biggest stages. But most people won't make it that far, not because they aren't capable, but because they lack the patience to endure the process. And this is the biggest reason why people never reach their potential. They chase results instead of routines. Success is not about setting massive goals and hoping for the best. It's about building daily habits that, over time, lead to mastery. It's about showing up consistently, even when you don't feel like it. If you're always focused on the outcome, on the final reward, you'll get discouraged when progress seems slow. But if you fall in love with the process itself, you'll keep going, no matter what. This is why discipline is more powerful than motivation. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes. But discipline is what keeps you moving forward when motivation disappears. Think about it. Do you think the greatest athletes feel like training every single day? Number. But they do it anyway. Do you think the best entrepreneurs feel like working long hours, dealing with failures, and pushing through obstacles? Number. But they do it anyway. Do you think the most accomplished artists feel like practicing their craft day in and day out? Number. But they do it anyway. That's the difference. The ones who succeed don't wait for the right mood or the perfect conditions. They take action regardless of how they feel. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work as a human being. What do I have to complain of if I'm going to do what I was born for?" You were not born to waste time. You were not meant to live a life of procrastination, distraction, and wasted potential. You were meant to create, to build, to grow, to contribute something meaningful to the world. And that starts with the simple act of showing up. No excuses, no waiting for the right moment, just consistent action, repeated every single day. Now, let's talk about one of the most important factors in long-term success: environment. Most people think success is purely about mindset. And while mindset is crucial, it's only half the equation. Your environment, the people you surround yourself with, the habits you reinforce, the distractions you allow, will determine whether you succeed or fail. Because here's the truth, you will always become a product of your environment. If you surround yourself with lazy, unmotivated people, you will adopt their habits. If you spend your days scrolling through social media, consuming meaningless content, you will become unfocused. If you fill your mind with negativity, complaints, and excuses, you will never grow. But if you build an environment that supports discipline, focus, and growth, everything changes. If you surround yourself with people who push you to be better, you will rise to their level. If you eliminate distractions and create a space where you can focus, your productivity will skyrocket. If you consume knowledge instead of entertainment, your mind will expand. Your environment is either strengthening you or weakening you. There is no in-between. So take a hard look at your surroundings. Are they helping you move forward, or are they holding you back? You may need to make difficult choices, to cut off toxic influences, to distance yourself from negative people, to redesign your daily routines. But if you are serious about reaching your potential, these are sacrifices you must be willing to make. Because success is never about a single moment. It's about every choice you make, every habit you reinforce, every small step you take in the right direction. And in the end, the only thing that truly separates those who succeed from those who fail is consistency. Not talent, not luck, not intelligence, just the ability to keep going, even when it's hard. The world doesn't reward those who wait. It rewards those who take action. So stop waiting for the right moment. Stop making excuses. Stop letting distractions steal your future. Instead, commit to the process. Trust in your ability to grow. Show up every day and do the work. Because while most people will quit when things get hard, the few who persist, the few who stay disciplined, who embrace the struggle, are the ones who will change the world. And the question is, which one will you be? The greatest battle you will ever fight is the one within yourself. Every day you will face the temptation to take the easy path, to give in to distractions, to delay the work that needs to be done. And every day you have a choice, to control your mind or be controlled by it. Success is not about luck or talent, it's about ownership. Owning your time, owning your decisions, owning your discipline. The moment you stop waiting for motivation and start acting with intention, your life will change. But here's the truth most people ignore. No one is coming to save you. No one will force you to work harder, to focus, to improve. It's on you to take control. The world rewards those who work in silence, those who stay committed even when no one is watching. It's not about proving yourself to others. It's about proving to yourself that you are capable of more. Because in the end, success is not about reaching a destination. It's about who you become in the process. Every disciplined action, every sacrifice, every moment of focus is shaping you into a person who is stronger, sharper, and unstoppable. So, ask yourself, are you willing to stay consistent even when it's hard? The choice is yours. Work in silence, stay disciplined, keep pushing forward, because the ones who refuse to quit, the ones who commit to the process, are the ones who will rise above the rest.